skin expert Nerida Joy. She's going to show me different massage styles on how to massage my face. I'm not really sure on what to do, but she's going to show me different techniques so I can do this from home. Let's go see what this is all about.
Hi everybody, I'm here today with Jessica and I'm going to be, first of all, I'm going to start cleansing her skin. We're going to bring the camera over really close when I go to diagnose because I really want you to be able to see some different things that I see on her skin. And then I'm going to show you a lot of fun massage movements that would be really helpful for her. So I'm choosing just a light cream cleanser to massage her skin. The reason being because her skin is a little bit surface dry and I don't want to use anything that's too stripping on her skin that's going to dry the surface of her skin more, because that's going to make it more difficult for me when I go to use treatment products on her skin for it to get into her skin. I don't want to set up a dry slate. We want to keep it soft and supple so that it's able to absorb all the good nutrients. And I really want to feed her skin a lot of nutrients today. So we're just cleansing off here. I'm going to avoid the eye area a little bit. But now Jessica is someone who up until 7 months ago was taking Accutane. So she has warned me that she gets red when we start massaging. So we're going to, so if you see her skin getting a little pink, we know it's because she was on Accutane. Now, how long were you on Accutane for, Jessica?
About 6 months.
6 months, okay, so that's great to know. Now what Accutane does is it makes the skin a little bit surface dry. Obviously it's used to treat acne, different forms of acne, and it really does dry up everything though when one is on Accutane, including the lips. Did you have that problem yourself, Jessica, too? Your lips got really dry? And
yes, I did.
Yeah. So it's a lifesaver for a lot of people, but you know, hopefully we always usually try to avoid people taking Accutane. Now what's really important when you're cleansing is to make sure, we all have fine facial hair on the lower cheek area here, and it's important to do the circular motion so that you really get underneath that fine facial hair and really to clean the skin properly. Jessica has a little nose ring, so we are being very careful around her nose ring here that we don't pull it out. That would be terrible. What I'd like to see is we're going to really bring the light over here and have a look and diagnose her skin. Have a good look at that. So we're just going to blot it off here. Alrighty, so what we're seeing here on her cheeks is she has some scarring. And the scarring with pitting is a little challenging to get rid of. Now, one of the questions that we had that was asked if I could talk about microdermabrasion, and it was one of our questions from one of our Twitter fans. So I just wanted to say that Jessica's skin, she could have a little mild microdermabrasion on scarring. Now, the best thing to do in treating scarring is you need to work on the outer layer, but you also need to work from the inside out. So working with some alpha hydroxy acids, which are your glycolic, lactic, malic, tartaric, or citrus. They're all the different molecules of the alpha hydroxy acid grouping, and what they do is they work on, because they're different molecular sizes and weights, they work on different levels in the skin. So it's always good to work with a complex of your alpha hydroxy acids, and that will help with the scarring, but it's going to help brighten up. If you look sort of closely to the scar itself, it has a little staining, almost like a brown staining down the bottom of the scar. And that itself, we want to lighten and brighten that, because if we lighten up that brown discoloration within the scar, it's going to not look as deep. The scar won't look as deep, and it'll really sort of make a difference for her. So so that's important to brighten that area as well. But she has really good skin. She's a little bit surface dry, and when you have surface dryness, it's easy to get little bumps underneath the skin. Surface dryness you can see when you see fine little lines that are not really wrinkles. We want to hydrate her skin. I'm going to feed her skin a lot, because this is an area that's going to help this area here with the scarring. As I said, microdermabrasion would be okay for her to do, but not too strong. The one thing that microdermabrasion can do if you have it too strong is it can weaken little blood vessels and bring them to the surface, and it can also stretch the skin. So she's also a little bit dehydrated around her eyes, and that's why you see tiny, tiny, very fine little lines, which again are not really wrinkles, but it's just because her eye area is so dry. So I'm going to start working in some of the a flavonoid. It's a serum that I'm choosing today that has a little bit mild amount of retinol in it. Diagnosing the skin is really important because everybody's different, and you can have an oily skin, but you can be surface dry. And Jessica's skin is not that oily anymore. She has a few little blackheads around her nose, so her skin is a combination skin. But what's great about this is wherever her skin is picking up the bright yellow in this flavonoid, her skin is really surface dry. So, you know, as we said earlier, Accutane can really dry the surface of the skin. But you can see where she's especially dry because it's picking up the skin where it's making it really yellow, and that's what we want to avoid. We want to help this drier outer layer. But the reason we diagnose skin is because everybody's different. Their skin is different. As I said, Jessica's skin is a combination skin. She's a combination dry, meaning her skin is more drier now. She is left with a little bit of scarring, but she does not have blackheads, and she doesn't have any oil glands out here that I can see. It's just a little bit around the T-zone. So her Accutane has really taken care of that oil. Her skin has turned really yellow around her mouth and around her eyes up here, where it's showing up here a little bit too, where it's showing where she's particularly surface dry. So it's really picking up the color of that to show the dry areas there especially. So we're gonna start massaging. Massage is so important, and it's what I get such good results from, and that's what a lot of my clients talk about, is that Nerida really massages my skin a lot. And it's just because of what it does and how it feeds and how it hydrates the skin, and it really it stimulates muscle tone. So that's what's so important. I love what Dr. Wayne Dyer used to say, where he would say that, you know, knowing that our body is more than 70% water, while ever a stream is still, it becomes rancid. But whenever it's moving, it stays clean and healthy. So I love that because, you know, we are mostly water, and movement is so important. And nowadays, because of Botox and things that different fillers and as wonderful as Botox and Dysport can be, in that it really paralyzes muscles and stops our expression lines from getting deeper, it also is a problem in that it's not allowing the lymphatic system, it's not allowing movement, and movement is really important. So whether it be massage or just exercise and walking and swinging your arms. If for someone who really suffers with puffy eyes, the best way to put on your eye cream for puffiness is going out this way. Usually someone who does not have puffy eyes, we go this way in a complete circle. And don't forget that lip area too. It's nice to massage your skin. At home, there's this movement here you can do with the rolling movement coming up, and you can go quite firm because massage does not stretch the skin. It just is, it's stimulating muscle tone, so it's helping it. It's helping it to stay nice and firm. I can feel a lot of heat coming out from Jessica's cheeks. She's a little warm in that area there. I'm going to do a little zigzag on her head, which is not one that's easy to do yourself, but I do have a couple of clients that tell me that they like to do it on their children to help them, it relaxes them, and it just does feel a really nice little movement here. So Jessica's skin is really, she has a very pretty skin. She's got beautiful bone structure. Mostly what I would be recommending for her is just she needs to feed her skin some nutrients and really massage that into those areas on the cheeks just to help with scarring, because scarring needs nutrients, it needs feeding, and that's going to help lighten and brighten that discoloration within the scar, which makes it look a little deeper, and it's just going to help the scarring itself. So it's a slow process when you're working with pitting. It's not something that happens overnight. you're better to work slowly but be very consistent about the different types of exfoliants that you use. See, on her skin, I would use an exfoliant that has more of a buffing effect on the epidermis rather than a scratchy one. She doesn't need to be using any little granules because that's just going to scratch the surface of her skin. The best kept secret is massage. It totally stimulates muscle tone, so it makes the skin firmer, and it brings oxygen to the blood, and that's what we want to keep our skin young and youthful and pretty and dewy and hydrated and all that good stuff.